Hey guys, Jeff here with Ghost Knight Gaming, and we're doing something a little bit different today because I just really had to talk about this. Just recently, I finished playing and streaming the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and there's just a lot of stuff on my mind with this that I want to really take a look at and kind of talk about here. So the first thing I'm going to go on to is very important. If you haven't finished the remake, I recommend just coming back later, finish the remake, come back later, check this out, see if you agree with some of the stuff that I have to say. But yeah, very heavy spoiler warning on this because we're going to talk about a lot of the endgame stuff and some stuff that kind of happened as the story progressed. Okay, you've been warned. So the first thing I want to go on is I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, it just did a really good job of giving us a new and very fresh look at Final Fantasy VII. The graphics, the music, the story development, just how much depth they put into this section of story with how much of the story we've actually only seen so far. It's a lot of depth. There's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot more effort to characterize Tifa, Cloud, Aerith, everybody. Just even like smaller characters and some newer characters too got introduced in this that weren't in the original game that are going to be very interesting to see them later on if they show up in later parts of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So there was a lot of stuff that they did really well. The combat system was fresh with some plenty of options to be able to do the tactical side of it, stay intense, and all that kind of stuff. I'm starting my playthrough on hard, and it's gonna keep me busy for a while. It's definitely been a lot more than what I've done, and I've beaten Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon on Final Fantasy VII, so this is going to be pretty intense trying to get through all of this stuff. Now that being said, there's a lot of things that they added in that's either completely new or they changed it up a bit, and yeah, that's why we're doing this right now. So I really needed to talk about it and see what you guys think. So make sure you guys join the discussion in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of some of the stuff that happened. And okay, so let's get really heavy into that spoiler territory. We're going to start taking a look at a whole bunch of stuff. So first off, they changed certain elements of the story. First thing they did is they added the whole whispers thing. When we first see them, they're kind of just in the way and they're more of a pain in the ass than anything else. But as we get further on, it gets revealed exactly what they are. They're arbiters of fate or whispers of fate, trying to keep everything quote unquote on track with what's supposed to happen, what the fated to happen. And I kind of think, well, I think the whispers themselves are a bit of a ridiculous thing. It's like, oh, person's about to fall off. Oh, the whisper saves them because you're not destined to die yet. Oh no, yeah, but I think kind of to a certain degree, I kind of feel like Square Enix made these whispers as almost a analog or a metaphor for us, the fans, you, me, all that kind of stuff, for our wanting for the story to stay exactly how it was, our clamoring for it just to be a new look at an old game. And as the story progresses, you start seeing all that kind of stuff happen where, stuff that could have gone horribly wrong, quote unquote, got fixed by the whispers, or certain encounters that could have changed, they didn't change because of the whispers getting in the way of it. And it felt kind of like a false MacGuffin to kind of keep things on story track. But things start getting a little bit weirder, and things start to change. First off, one of the big heart-wrenching moments early on in the game is during the plate fall, and Biggs and Wedge and Jesse all falling in the effort to stop Shinra from collapsing the plate on Sector 7. Well, something we discover partway through and after the plate is a couple of them survive, at least. Well, first we find out that Wedge survives. And so this is a little different. Wedge survived. It's revealed a lot later that Biggs survived as well, so maybe Jesse survived too. And so that's the first step towards, oh shit, things are a little different now. But it gets a lot different, and it's actually one quote by Red 13, and this is the quote.
What the hell did I just see? a glimpse of tomorrow if we fail here today.
That basically goes, guess what? Things can be potentially much different now. A lot different. You know, when they're showing little bits of the future, you know, like the meteor, like, well, Aerith's death. And, you know, it's all stuff that, you know, they comment on. But going back to Red's comment was after it shows a bit of him at the very, very end. It's actually the very, very, very last scene in the Final Fantasy VII ending, where he's running up with some of more of his tribe, and Midgar is in ruins. You know, it's grown over, there's waterfalls, grass, all that kind of stuff all over the place. And when Cloud asks what it was, he says this is a vision of what is going to be if we don't defy fate. You know, so it's basically going, at that moment, I'm kind of sitting there while I'm streaming it going, oh shit, if they do what they're going to do, and they do the thing they're going to do, they destroy the Harbinger of Fate, or beat it down, or whatever, and basically go, nope, this is in our control now. This is where it kind of goes, okay, they could change everything now. Now, I did a little scouring, and apparently there were a couple of interviews with the developer, and they made the comment that no, the game is going to follow the same plot and story, so everything's going to happen as it was. But that's already not true. By just Biggs and Wedge, though Wedge we're currently up in the air, considering he got smashed out a window by the Whispers, so we don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're trying to kind of get him back on track to not being. But Biggs is still alive, so already right there, there's already one thing that is vastly changed. Now, how they got out of Midgard is considerably different as well. So, what the hell? I I honestly don't know what's going to happen next. That being said, if they Square Enix decides, you know, there's a ton of speculation here. We don't know what's going to happen until more of the game comes out, more parts of this remake, and this could all be for naught, and I could just be talking for no reason. But we're not going to know until we get to that point. We're really not going to know. For all I know, everything could change, or nothing could change, or only certain points. I'm fairly certain they're going to keep a lot of major story elements still the same, because they're still going to have to do certain things. Certain people are still taking the actions they're going to take, you know, Rufus and all that kind of stuff. But it's certain results to certain parts of those actions that may change. And the biggest one being, and the one that everybody is on very, very two different camps on this one, is Aerith survive or Aerith die. And this is going to change everything right there. If that changes, and I mean, this happens end of disc 1. So, in theory, like this could be a game in 6 parts, in 7 parts, in 4 parts. It's hard to say, but that's the next major plot point up. Major plot point up, because that was end of disc 1. So, and we're maybe about halfway through the first disc if you want to compare the original to the remake as far as time goes. You're about halfway through, give or take. A little bit more, or a little bit under, maybe a little bit under half. You know, we still got a ton of stuff to do, so there's a lot of plot and story elements that we still have to see. You know, Cosmo Canyon, we still have to see, you know, Gold Saucer and Junon, and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot still coming, and there's a lot I don't know. So at this point, this is where I want you guys to kind of share your opinions as well here. Do you think they're going to change the story? Do you think they're just going to, they were just doing that to kind of go, nah, just kidding, we're not going to change anything? Or are they going to change anything? Because they already have. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Join the discussion on this. Who knows, maybe I'm just crazy, and we're all going to be watching and waiting for part 2 to get announced and released and see what goes on from there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed checking this out. This is a little bit different for me. I'm not usually one for fan theories and fan speculation and all this kind of stuff, but this one I I don't know. Uh, join me with more discussion. Check out my other social media. Come check me out on streaming. Come chat with me there. Obviously, we're trying not to spoil this for anybody that hasn't played it yet. So, of course, we'll, you know, if you're reading the comments, if you're watching this video, obviously you've either finished the game, you're not worried about spoilers, or whatever. But let's be mindful of those kind of people. Thank you for joining me. Have fun. Keep gaming, and I'll see you guys again next time.